and of course Emilia Faba, who I'm sure many, if not all of you, have had the great pleasure of becoming acquainted with throughout the marketing campaign. I'd like to share with you now the following announcements which are in place to help you the buyers bid and buy with confidence. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules, and any additional conditions that remain available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. Now, buyer subject to the vendor's reserve price, the highest bidder whose bid has been accepted by me will be the purchaser. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. It reads that today Harcourts Rata Co sells on behalf of the vendor all that land, together with any improvements described in the attached copy of title, volume 9764, folio 434, or as it's more commonly known to you and I, as number 49 Baystone Road here in Epping. Selling with the property today all fixed floor coverings, light fittings, fixed window furnishings, and any other fixtures and fittings of a permanent nature. Today, once the property is sold, we will call on the successful purchaser to pay deposit equal to 10% of the purchase price upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of the contracts here today, and the balance to be paid at settlement in a flexible 30 to 90 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. Buyers, that's the contract of sale. Everything is in here, everything is quite clear. It's with my highest recommendation now that we offer number 49 Baystone Road for your competition. A great home in a great location, and the location over the last few years has only got better and better with the addition of Plenty Valley Shopping, only a short stroll down the road, earmarked to be the biggest Westfield in the Southern Hemisphere. Easy access, of course, also to South Morang Station outside of Plenty Valley Shopping. Here in the very heart of Epping, where we've experienced so much capital growth, which is so important for you and your family today to know that you're buying into an area that has experienced that growth, because it provides security for you and your family in the future, in the years to come, with future capital growth. So buyers, a great opportunity perhaps for the first home buyer, certainly a great opportunity for the investor to cash in on the growth here in Epping, and an opportunity for you and your family today to bid and buy number 49 Baystone Road. The way to do that is quite simple. Raise your hands high up in the air, call out your bids to me in a loud and clear voice. I'll start today by calling 3 times. First call, second call, third and final call. When the contract meets my hand, the property will be sold. Our vendors' instructions are quite clear. They want to see sold sticker on the board at the end of this auction. If you want to be the one to put the sticker on when all is said and done, now, buyers, is your time to reserve that exclusive right. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for number 49 Baystone Road? Who'd like to start us off, buyers? I don't mind the call. Start me where you like. I don't mind a little bit of an opportunity to catch my breath. Take your time if you like. I'd have an auction for a couple of hours. We had a couple sell before. So I've got the time, if you've got the time, at 500,000, a fair start at that, so at 500,000 now, invite participation now in rises of 25. At 500 I have now. At 500,000, looking for 25 in the rise of 25 now. Welcome, sir, and best of luck at 25 here. 550 if you like. At 550,000, I apologise, sir, for underselling your future investment here at 550. At 550,000, 75, sir, if you like. At 75, got now, got to be 600 now. At 575,000, bids here in front against you. Don't leave me with just one bid. Can't be a one bid wonder here today, sir. Not before Christmas. At 75 now, it's got to be 600. At 575. At 575,000, fairly been offered now. 6 is that. At 575, at 600,000. At 600,000 now, fairly been offered here at 6. At 600,000 now. At 600,000, fairly been offered 600. I'll tell you what, so I'll take a smaller bid, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not going inside. I'm not referring to the vendor. My instructions, I said at the very start, were absolutely clear. We are here to sell today, and that's exactly what we'll be doing. At 600,000, we're on the market. We sell. Make absolutely no mistake about it. No half-time break here today. No referring to the vendor. My instructions are clear. At 600,000, the bid's here. The keys are here. No second chances, sir. At 600,000, 10 if you like. At 600,000, fairly been offered here. My right, your left against you. At 650 or 605. That's a bit cheeky of me. I thought I'd try. At 605, we give you the same courtesy. So we're on the market now. This is where it counts. At 610 now. 610. At 610,000. At 610 the bid. At 610,000 now. At 610,000, your 5 still good with me if you've got to. Dig a little bit deeper if you need to. It's almost Christmas. What a present. 15 now. At 615. At 615,000. Bid big, sir. Bid bold. At 615,000. Bid bids buy. Big bids buy property. Bit of a tongue twister. At 615,000. What do you say, sir? 615. The bids there. Keys are there against you now. At 615. Got to sell here today. At 615,000. At 615,000. Fairly been offered. Opportunity here. At 615, I have, sir. At 615,000, got to be at least 20 in the rise.
660.
At 616, okay. At 616, short in the odds. At 17 now. At 617,000, at 20 now. At 620,000, and that's a lesson learnt, sir. Small bids help the competition to come along. Big bids lock them out. At 600, have you given him the key, sir? At 620,000. At 620,000, got to test his resolve. At 620,000, how about give me one more big bid? At 620 the bid. At 620,000, fairly been offered here again. At 620 now. At 620,000, this side of the crowd's been a bit quiet. You can get involved now. About to sell. Not long left. At 620,000. Once. At 620, we done. At 620,000. Twice. At 620. Done. Finished. Third. So if you're thinking 21, don't walk away still thinking it. Throw it on the table. Let's see if they're there or not. At 621 here, opportunity taken here at 621. Welcome, best of luck. At 621,000. At 621,000, almost sold it on you. At 621,000, perhaps we'll sell it to you soon. At 621,000 now, fairly been offered. You can't let somebody come in with one bid right at the very end and let them buy it. You've got to at least test them, test their resolve. 1 or 2,000 more. At 621,000, the bid's there. It's against you. Opportunity here. I have to sell here today. My instructions are clear. We're on the market and selling. At 621,000, bids there. Keys are there. If you're out, I'll let them have them. At 621,000. Once. At 621, are we done? Twice. At 621,000, done, finished. Third, 3's the highest I go, sir.
622.
At 622, welcome back at 622,000. Opportunity taken here. You got to give me a big bid, sir, ma'am. At 622,000. At 622,000, give me a statement bid. At 622 now. At 622,000. Bids here against you. Almost had it on one bid. Not quite though. At 622,000. Might take 2 or 3 bids at least. At 622 now and we're selling. At 622,000. First call at 622. At 622,000. Second call at 622 the bid. Third. Final call at 622,000 the bid. All done. All finished. Silent out at 622. So what do you say? You still with me, ma'am? At 622,000. At 600, it's been a great Christmas present for her, sir. At 622,000. Give me one more bid. You're almost there. At 622, that $1,000 bid took a while to get. At 622,000, we're definitely done. Thank you. At 622 now. You got a poker face with those glasses on, ma'am. I don't know whether you're bidding or not. At 622. Are we definitely done? At 622, the bid's here against you. They tell me they're out. Might come down to your decision at 622,000. One thing's clear though, I do have to sell here today at 622,000 as it stands. They've got the keys in the middle. Once at 622, all done. Twice at 622, done. Finished. Third, final call at 622,000 the bid. All done, all finished. Silent and out at 622. Are we definitely done, ma'am? You need to lower those glasses, look me in the eye, tell me you're done, and I'll sell. At 622, or give me a bid, better yet, at 622,000. Took them a while to arrive to that decision to bid that extra one. Might get it with one more bid at 622. You still with me or not? At 622, definitely done. Thank you very much for your spirited bidding here today. At 622,000, they tell me they're out. Just want to confirm instructions here. We're definitely done. So I can't dice you in for half. 622 and a half. 500.
It's gonna be go up and go. I know.
They took a while. Are you sure? Yeah. It's a $500 bet. They pay more. You buy the property, sir. at 622,000. Half on top at 622. Same courtesy there if you like it half. At 622,000. Yes or no, sir?
No.
Definitely done. Thank you very much for being here today. At 622,000. They tell me they're out. You're definitely done. At 622. Got to count to 3, so it's my job. At 622,000. Once, twice, third, final call. At 622,000 the bid. All done. All finished. Silent. Out. At 622,000. We're selling. Selling. Definitely out, sir. So, congratulations. Well bid. Congratulations to our purchasers and our vendors here today. Commiserations to our underbidders. Have a great weekend, a great Christmas. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Final, last minute decision, eh?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Got you those keys. Well done.
Come through, guys, when you're ready.
All right.
Thanks, Danae.